goodness gracious. My subscribers are going the wrong way. Look right here. Subscribe now or I have to get a real job. So I'm hearing a lot of things lately, and one of the big things I'm hearing is Naoya Inoue is a hype job. In this video, I'm going to explore if he's a hype job. So Naoya Inoue is a 4-division world champion. He's undisputed at the bantamweight world champion level. He got a belt at super flyweight and light flyweight. Should be a 5-division champion. Completely skipped flyweight. And now he just beat the best guy at 122 pounds. Picking up 2 belts. More than likely will probably fight Tapoulis at some point. I think Tapoulis will give him a fair fight that people will sleep on. But in the end, by the end of this year, he will be a 2-division undisputed champion. Depending on how Spence Crawford shakes out, you know, he may or may not be the first 2-division undisputed. But I think it's a matter of when, not if, that occurs. The word hype job, I think, is being thrown around with Inoue, not unlike we saw with Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Although they're completely different fighters. Chocolatito Gonzalez, more offensive, a little bit more reckless, can work on the inside better, but gets hit a lot, right? People don't watch these fights. Not even, like, a lot of media don't watch the lower weights. There's a guy named Ken Shiro right now. My guy Abe Gonzalez always says, check out Ken Shiro, check out Ken Shiro. Really good fighter. I've been watching him. I think 97 out of 100 media members probably are not even having him on their radar, right? So Inoue has these wins. He won on HBO against Antonio Nueves, a fighter that most people go, who's that? He's a very good fighter. He just didn't kind of get the breaks. He had a couple of close decisions. They didn't go his way. Goes through bantamweight, beats the world champions at bantamweight, beats Nonito Donaire, Hall of Fame fighter. People, you know, well, he's old, this, that. Now he beats Fulton. You know, I really hope people don't talk about, well, what about his gloves? What about this? You know, people don't watch these lower weight classes. I really believe most fight fans start watching at featherweight, and I'm talking about hardcore fight fans. Most fight fans watch from featherweight and up. They skip cruiserweight, and then they go to heavyweight. Basically most of his career-defining wins have been against guys that average to even hardcore fight fans are unaware of how talented these fighters were. Emmanuel Rodriguez will more than likely be a world champion in a few weeks when he fights on Showtime. Many other of these fighters will be world champions that Inoue has fought, and he has made them look like they weren't on his level. He's doing the things of all-time great fighters, but you can't sit and argue with people that don't know anything. And what I mean by that is, if you argue with a fool, you become a fool. So I understand that some people feel that he's a quote-unquote hype job, but what that's really telling me is they just don't understand what he's accomplishing and what he has accomplished. So what they're doing is they're telling on themselves. They're showing you their level of interest in these lower weights, and they're showing their passion for not wanting to be told what their opinion should be because they don't watch these fights. So they haven't watched these fights. They don't care about these fights. They don't analyze or dissect these fights. They just want to see a fighter who they haven't really watched lose because they just are tired of people saying the guy is good. Inoue, when he fought Fulton, was standing in front of Fulton and making Fulton miss while outboxing him, which is something I don't think a lot of people expected. Myself, I didn't even expect that. I didn't expect Inoue to enact that or to bring that game plan forward. The hype is very real with Inoue, and he's been promoted by several different promoters. That's the other thing. It's not this is a Top Rank creation, because we all know Top Rank, in my opinion, is the best promoter. Top Rank has a great history of building up fighters and creating their own competition that they have to then promote against. That said, Inoue's taken this wild journey of, like my guy Naoya said on Twitter, he was on the World Boxing Super Series Top Rank kind of picked him up after he got the Super Series win. They didn't really know what to do with him. Pandemic hits. Now he's in like a co-promotional agreement, but they're mostly just he's fighting in Japan. I don't think there's a big goal to bring him back unless there's a fighter that they could bring him to America for. Inoue is the rare fighter where he basically built himself. All the hype you're hearing about, all the word of mouth is based off of his acclaim, based off of his performances, based off of him looking like something special. The hype is real. I know, and it's hard to tell people this because people are so used to being lied to. You go on YouTube, you go on your favorite boxing website, 7 out of 10 people, knowingly or unknowingly, might mislead you in a lead up to a fight. They might give you the wrong information. They don't probably mean to. Some of them do, but they don't mean to. They just don't really know what they're seeing. So you can't get mad at people when someone who's confused is telling a fan who then they get confused. I'm telling you that Inoue is something special. I don't know how much longer we have him as a fighter, but this is something that if you really enjoy boxing and you don't care about the weight, because if you care about the weight classes and you don't want to watch littler guys fight, well then you're never going to enjoy an Inoue. Inoue is for a purist fight fan who wants to see the most effective fighting styles and wants to watch people compete at the highest level. If you're a fan of looking at who the best modern boxers are and seeing the most effective ways to win a fight, Inoue is there for you. If you're looking at more the glamour divisions of lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, heavyweight, light heavyweight, you're not going to like him because you're probably going to jump to a conclusion of, man, if I could just put him in a bear hug and I'd beat him up. Which maybe that's true. I don't know. But from a boxing standpoint, there's nothing at this point that's hype about Inoue. He's fighting world champions and making them look extremely bad. That's a fact. That is something to be excited about. Where does the future go? I think he goes to Robesiy, he unifies, but really, we're going to enter uncharted territory where it's like, does Inoue try to fight Lomachenko? Does Inoue try to fight winner of Valdez Navarrete in 2 to 3 years? He's going to have to basically do what Sinise Estrada, I think, is inevitably going to have to do after this Friday, where the size has to be a disadvantage for people to even be slightly interested. Because anyone that's the same size or can't handle his power and timing, it's over. It's over. Like, nobody's going to view it after this type of performance against the best guy in the division. I don't reasonably see how anyone could favor another fighter. Maybe Robesiy, you could make an argument because he's so smart, but even Robesiy, he's got some flaws, and I think Inoue would exploit him. The only way at this point, you could bet against him is if there's a huge size difference. Against Fulton Inoue, I didn't see a crazy size difference. When they're in the ring, I didn't go, man, Fulton's that much bigger. They looked about the same in terms of height, in terms of width. Their shoulders looked the same. Until you see a guy where you physically go, wait, why is he fighting this guy? How is this the same weight class? That's the guy that's going to give Inoue problems. I think that's why Nonito gave him problems. He was bigger. He had fought at higher weight classes. And even that became a knockdown, drag-out affair. So, to me, Inoue isn't a hype job. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from the community. I want to hear from the Lukie boxing people. Am I just overreacting, or is this the truth?